Welcome again. Today we'll see another type of liver, and in that we are going to learn some more things. Here is a case when a liver is experiencing combined stresses, and these combined stresses are because of torsion and bending. So the combination is slightly different. When there is a torsion as well as bending, how are we going to design the liver? That will be shown in this exercise. So let us draw this figure first. Okay, so this is the exercise this is a kind of lever having combined stresses. Maybe I'll add here. Lever with combined bending and torsion. So the combination here is bending and torsion. Now let us first see how this drawing is made. There is a lever like this. There is a lever like this, one view like this, the other view is like this. And here what you see is, maybe I'll draw slightly different here, just to be more accurate. Now what is done here is, the load that is applied is in such a way that if you see here, maybe I'll show it again like this, the same load here in the other view. So what it means is, this P is applied like this, and as a result we are going to rotate this handle, and maybe it is rotating something else. So as you can see, there is a shaft here, there is a hole here basically. In this hole there will be a shaft, and that shaft is connected to this handle with the help of this particular pin. Okay, so that when the handle rotates, the shaft rotates, and the machine, whatever is there, that rotates. Now the force that is applied, as you can see here, now this is not shown as an angle, it is shown something, an effort is made to show it in 3 dimensions. So something like, it is shown that it is at some angle. So maybe if I want to show it like this, then this is a lever. Okay, here there is a boss, then these are the extensions, and the load applied is like this and like this, so that together it is causing the lever to rotate like this. Okay, now what happens is, the place where the load is applied, it is at certain distance like this also, which is capital L, and it is at certain distance like this also, which is small l. So that distance here is small l, at which this is applied. So it is like a load which is shown in 3 dimensions. Suppose the load is applied here, then there is like it is a simpler case, you can see. So if the load is applied here, then on this particular bar, this has got a cross section as a circular cross section. This particular rod will be under the action of force at a distance L. So P into L will be just the moment that is acting on this. So in other words, when there is a boss here, and when you are applying a load like this, P, and this is capital L, so P into capital L, and maybe another P here into capital L, so P into capital L twice. That is the moment that is applied like this, if that is the case. Now what is happening, same thing is there, but it is not in the plane of the lever, it is offset by small l. So now because of this, what will happen, this will still be there, P into capital L will be still there, but because of this small l, what will happen is, it will cause this because of this small l, it will cause the rod to twist like this. So this particular rod is experiencing bending also, and it is also experiencing a twist also. So if I show it, it can be shown something like this way it is. So I am showing this as a torque that is applied on the handle, and at the same time it is applying a moment like this again on the handle. So I'll write here lever handle, it is called as. This handle has moment and torque. It has got moment also, and it has got torque also. So moment M that is applied is equal to P into capital L. P into capital L will cause the moment, and torque will be given by P into small l. Torque will be given by P into small l. Now, how this is like this, maybe if I still want to make it more clear. Now here this rod is there. So this is how the handle is, and then we are applying that load, which is, as you can see there, in that way it is shown. So at this point it is from below like this. So this distance is small l and this distance is capital L. So now if you can see what happens, this P into L, it will cause a moment. I have shown maybe the direction opposite. So P into capital L will cause one kind of moment, and P into small l, it is going to twist it. So what I am trying to show you here is this kind of a torque which is there, that is applied because of this kind of small l which is there. It is causing the rod to twist like this. So there is a twisting also, there is a torque, and there is a bending also because of this distance. That is what is written here. So the shaft is experiencing the arm, this particular arm, the lever, is experiencing M and T. Now with this, what are we going to do? First thing is, let us try to find out the diameter D of the shaft here. Okay. Now for this diameter, the effect will be only of moment. So if I show the moment, this is the moment. So the moment will be the one which is causing the action of twisting here to the shaft. Now see, whatever terms we use, I'll write here again. For the shaft of diameter D, here torque acting now whatever is the torque acting on this is, for the lever it is a moment. So P into L is moment for the lever, but that same P into capital L becomes a torque for the shaft. So I'll write here, it will be torque, and that is given by P 2 times P into L, because this P into L is 1 and there is one more force acting here at same distance L. So P into L and P into L, so together this P into L is applied on the shaft and the shaft is getting twisted. So that twist on the shaft, the torque that is applied on the shaft is 2 times P into L. Okay. Now with this torque, what you can see is, if you find out the shear stress, pi d cube by 16 into F shear design is equal to torque. This is the design equation which we have used many times. So with this design equation, torque is there, shear stress design you can get from the tensile stress 0.6 times, and then pi d cube by 16. So this will give you the diameter D what we want. So this D you can obtain like this. Diameter of the shaft here is obtained like this. Now how do we get the diameter of the let's find out D1. Now D1 is just a proportion, matter of proportion. So I'll just make it let D1 is equal to maybe 1.6 times D. So that get D1, so you'll get D1 also. So D1 is not so great, just a size something higher, that is sufficient for us, and we are not going to check it also. This empirical relation will work, and there is no more reason to check it, because it is anyway safe. This is not causing any great failure. So D1 will just assume and leave it like this. And now we'll go to the next size, that is DP, that is the diameter of the pin. How are we going to design this? Okay, so to find diameter of pin, now let's say how do we find out the diameter of pin. Now for finding out diameter of pin, let us find out the importance of this particular size. What way it will fail, what it is holding, which kind of stresses it is holding. So how do we do this? Imagine that it is very very thin, so that you will come to know how it will break. You will realize that this pin, if it is thin, if it is not strong enough, and when you apply a torque like this, what will happen is, from this place here, it will break into 3 pieces. So at two places it will break and three pieces will be formed if it breaks from here. So this is the resisting area which is resisting this particular thing from happening. So now the thing is we have to form a proper design equation so that we will be able to find out dP. Now let's see how that is done. Now one thing is there, if it is to fail, then at this place, let's say suppose I draw like this. This is the pin, it is failing from these two places, and this is the diameter dP which we want to find out. Okay, now here at this place, if it is to fail, say it is rotating like this, that means it is say resisting some kind of a force is applied here which is resisting this torque. So when you do like this, it will cause opposite torque. That means some force is applied here. Okay, or maybe you can do the other way. You can say that this is the force that you are applying while rotating this shaft. So this is the force that is applied. So suppose I call this as F. F is the force that is applied. Now what happens? What is this F going to be? So you can write here F is equal to the tangential force, the force that is acting along the surface. This force is equal to stress into area as usual. So stress is shear stress, which we take as design stress, and area is the area of this cross section. So pi d square by 4 into shear stress is going to be the force that is acting here. Okay. Now this force is acting at certain distance, that is d by 2. So you can see this is the center line, then this is d by 2. Okay. So what will happen is this is going to create a moment, this is going to create a opposite torque than what you are applied. So what you are applying is here, and what this is resisting is because of this. Okay. So now let's see how we do it. So now this F acting at a distance of d by 2, so I'll write here F into d by 2, okay, and then there's one more F here into d by 2, that means this is taken 2 times, this is taken 2 times, it has come from where? It has come from what you have applied. So this is equal to 2 times P into L. So what you have applied, this is what you have applied, P into L, P into L. So that 2 times P into L has resulted into a force acting like this at this place, such that this force at this distance and this force at this distance, this together is causing a torque which is matching with this torque. So this torque for the pin, this torque becomes this torque at this distance. Okay, so we have written an equation like this, which is going to be a design equation for us. So I'll just write this down again further. So I'll write here, therefore 2PL is equal to, now what is F? F is this whole thing. So F shear design into pi dP square by 4. I written this thing for F, then multiply by d by 2 into 2. Into 2 because it is twice. Okay. So now this, if you solve, this is a design equation that is formed. Now this design equation, if you solve, then you will find everything is there except dP, which you can find out. So with that dP, if you provide a pin of that size, then it will not break from here, because this is designed considering whatever is required. Okay. So from here the breakage might take place, which we have taken care of, because this is the resisting force at this area causing a torque. This torque is equal to what torque you have applied. By this we have formed the equation. Now having done up to this much, now the next thing is to find out the diameter of this your arm, capital D. Now how do we find out the diameter D? For that you have to find out what this diameter is experiencing. Now this diameter, earlier one figure was drawn here. According to that figure, this diameter is experiencing movement as well as torque. So this is something which is what is called the combined case, where it is bending and torsion. And as you have seen earlier, whenever a same section is experiencing bending also and torque also, then these two parameters you cannot add straight away by mathematical addition. They are to be combined by the square root equation. So what we now do is, I'll write here design of diameter. Now let's try to find out diameter D. So torque on handle is equal to P into small l, and moment is equal to P into capital L. So now when these two things are there, then as we have seen earlier last time, we are supposed to combine them and find out the equivalent torque and equivalent moment. So that you will find out saying that M equivalent is equal to half of M plus square root of M square plus T square, and T equivalent is equal to square root of M square plus T square. This we have already seen. So you can combine these two like this, and then we can say that instead of saying that the moment and the torque acting, you can say only moment is acting, which is equivalent to both of them, and it is obtained by this combination. Similarly, this is the equivalent torque obtained by this combination. Once we do this, now we can equate this moment with the design equation, saying that Ft design so pi capital D cube by 16 into Ft, not 16, it is pi D cube by 32 into Ft design is M equivalent. So this will give you one value of D. Similarly, and pi D cube by 16 into F shear design is equal to torque. This is another design equation. This will give you another value of D, and I will say that select maximum D out of the two. So you have obtained the diameter capital D, once by moment consideration, other way by torque consideration, which is T equivalent.